Anyway, so one of my experiences was with this. One of the daughters hired me to do her mom. Okay, and I said okay, and I says as long as your mom is open to it, I'll be happy to go do your mom. So I get over there, and I'm driving over there. And I hear from the loved one in the car telling me, stop at the store. I'm like, what? And it says, stop at the store. And I'm like, okay. So I stop in the store, and it says, pick up a red rose, one red rose. So I picked up this red rose, okay? And then the guy told me to pick up an angel. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not really supposed to be buying these gifts. I'm supposed to be getting paid for what I'm doing. But I listened, so I found this small angel. I found a small angel and a red rose. So I get to the woman's house, and I had the angel in the car, and I went, when she opened the door, I said, hey, I introduced myself. I said, my name is Ba Ba Ba, and your daughter hired me to come here. And so we sat in the kitchen, and I said, by the way, your husband told me to give you this red rose and this little angel. And she started crying and crying and crying. And I said, I'm looking for tissues. So I had to run to the bathroom and get some toilet paper because I didn't know where her tissues were. And so we were sitting there at the table, and she said, my husband always bought me a red rose and an angel for my birthday and our anniversary. And she says, today is my anniversary. We would have been married 57 years. I would have been married 57 years, but he died like 6 months earlier. And so I'm doing the reading, and all of a sudden her husband says for me to get up and go in her closet. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm telling this spirit. I said, what are you talking about? I'm not going to go in her closet, And she says, what are you arguing with? Who are you arguing with? And I said, your husband wants me to go in your closet. And she says, why? And I go, well, he says there's a box in a box in a box, And I said, okay. So I said, can we go in your closet? And so we went in her closet, and I'm thinking, how hard is a box in a box in a box? How hard is that? 3 boxes, how hard, I walk in there, and this woman has hundreds of hat boxes. Oh my God. Hundreds of hat boxes on every shelf. She had 3 rows of hat boxes in this closet. 3 rows of hat boxes. And I'm like, really? Really? I'm telling her husband, really? Give me a hand. Which side? 1, 2, or 3? And so he told me what side to go to. And so we started opening up these hat boxes, and finally we found a box. We got so excited. We found a box with a box. And I said, we got a box in a box, And I said, is there another box in that box, And sure enough, there was a box in the box, And it was a piece of jewelry and a blue topaz, okay? And she started crying again because she always said her husband always bought her jewelry, and it was always a blue topaz, okay? Always a blue topaz, a red rose, and an angel every time he gave her a gift, And so it was so cute, And so we were talking about that, and then she was telling me, let's see. She had told me about, what was she was telling me about that he mentioned. And, he wrote a card too. He wrote this beautiful card. He said to her in the card that you were my everything. And that you have been the love of my life ever since we were children. And you are my everything. And I am sorry, but I'm going to miss your anniversary. and I wanted to make sure that you got your gift. And that was his gift, was to give her this rose that I brought, the angel that I brought. Now, he bought the most expensive thing. I bought the cheapest angel I could find. You know, and so he left her a love note. He left her really, it was more to it. It was real mushy. But, you know, it was a mushy love note. And so she was so thankful. She hugged me and everything. And she says, well, how much do you owe me? And I said, hon, you don't pay me anything. Your daughter paid for it. Your daughter wanted you to come this date. It had to be that date. It had to be that date. And I can see why now it had to be that date, because it was their anniversary that date. That was their anniversary